Hey, hi guys, GM everyone. How's it going? Can to see like everyone's seated, everyone's equipped, everyone's ready. Can we have a GM in the chat, please? Let's do a GM in the chat. Yeah, let's get the vibe started. A lot of cool things in-house for you and planned for you. Nice. GM Atanshu, drum feet, Heart, Pluto, Mayank. Nice. Perfect. Great. Yeah, welcome guys. Welcome to the bootcamp series. Welcome to the bootcamp series of fall 2024 cohort. It's the kickoff. So which means this is where the new cohort starts, which means the new batch for the Hacker House. We're really excited to have all of you here with us. It's gonna be a new batch, new people, new ideas, which means new projects. So yeah, fresh energy with everyone, and we're really excited, the team especially, to get this going. Uh, okay, cool. So before I begin, let's do a little vibe check of the people here. So if you have been part of the Arweave India journey in any form, or you've attended the debrief, the IRL events or anything, you've been part of it, drop 100 emoji. To see how many people are already in the game. They know what we're going to talk about. Cool. I see Ashish, Ankush, Had. Yes, all familiar faces. Nice. Sadesh, hey Sadesh. Great. Cool. Nice. That's people know stuff. Nice. And for those who are new to Aviv, like they're yet to start out, want to learn the basics 101s, still exploring, want to figure out, drop like a fire emoji. So to see how many of you are new here. So we're gonna like welcome you in the same manner. Come on. Fire emojis for people who are, just getting started or new to Aviv and AO in general. Okay, that's Aditya, Mayank. Cool. Quite a crowd. Nice. Awesome, guys. That's good to know. Just wanted to see how we want to structure our boot camps and a series. So yeah, it's good time. A lot of you here. Hey, this Luis is here. One of my colleagues. Good to have you, man. Cool. So let's get started. Just want to do a quick intro on what this cohort is and what we're gonna do. Right. So this is an entire new cohort, which means a lot of things that are gonna be planned. So we just dropped our announcement video, like the Hacker House announcement. If somebody can please drop that in the chat, that would be great. Awesome, thanks to it. So guys, go check it out. It's a pretty cool video. It's like and share it. Show some love. It will be really nice. This basically tells you all the levels to get into Hacker House. So it starts with the boot camps where you are right now, and then the challenges. So boot camps are like to get you understanding of what everything is, and then we go to the challenger where we have design and developer challenges to to get, and only the best 30-35 uh, builders get into the Hacker House. So yeah, it's pretty exciting time, and a lot of cool things coming. So yeah, we let's kick off. Won't take more time, and I'll let Rohit, Ropats, commonly known on Twitter and Discord, take the stage, and he's gonna get you in the rabbit hole, get you started with Aviv and AO. Great resource for beginners, but even better for people who are already familiar, because you never know what's new. So off to you, Rohit, and yeah, let's do it.
Thank you, Ashutosh. Guys, can you just drop a thumbs up if I am audible? Um, yeah, anyone, just quickly, okay, awesome. Thank you, Mayank Hart. All right, guys, so this is going to be a 101 workshop on AO. This is mainly to bring you up to speed on how to work with AO, what are the latest tools you can work with, and what are the latest syntaxes that you can work with. This is going to set up a foundation for our next bootcamp where we will use everything that we learned together into building that application. So a fun anecdote, or like a fun analogy, sorry, is if you've seen the movie Now You See Me, they're doing like different acts, and then at the end it all comes together. So similarly, we're going to do like a bunch of different things today, and then in the next boot camp, it's all going to come together. I am just sharing from one screen, so guys, please bear with me if I'm like switching screens here. But yes, so before I get started, let me share a doc with you guys quickly. Um, this doc is meant to be a follow along, so anyone who's like coding actively with me, it's going to be super simple code. The first few minutes of it will require that you have npm and node.js set up on your devices, but if you do not have that, it's fine. The other longer half of it is going to be done in an online IDE, so you will see that, and you won't need to do any fancy setups. But all right, so guys, hope you are seeing the doc, and I'm just going to start with what AO is, like a quick explanation. So let me share my screen. Um, Give me a second. Where's this? Yep. All right. So can you guys see my screen? Yep. Okay. Nice. Yes. So a quick overview on what AO is. AO is basically a compute layer built on top of Arweave. It provides hyper parallel computing, which basically means you can like easily create and run an arbitrary number of processes on top of AO. Think of it similar to how you create containers on AWS, but it's decentralized. It's much more scalable and it's lightweight. So in its current state, it runs mostly Lua code. So we'll see what that means as well. But here's like a diagram of how the AO architecture looks. So yeah. At the bottom here, think of this the gray thing as the unified computing environment. So that is your AO network. Just think of this as like a giant CPU of like multiple computers kind of thing. On top of that, you have these containers. So your processes, these containers are called your processes. Each of them are independent. They are inspired by like the Erlang model. The reason why these are independent is they do not, oops, okay. The reason they are separate is because they do not have a giant shared memory, and this is so that there are no blockages. Like if one container or one process needs information from the another, they don't have to wait for this process to evaluate and get back to this. They can continue with the operation until this process gets back, and that is why they communicate through messages. So if this process needs some information from the second one, it'll just say, hey, here's a message for the information I need. And then once this is done computing, it will send a message returning that information. Okay, and a breakdown of these processes, just think of it like these mini cells or whatever. It's all of the compute requests that each of these processes receive. So that's why you see like this vertical bar like structure, which comes from like mini cells that stack on top of each other. So yes, that's the overview of AO's architecture on a very high level. Now there's two ways you can interact with. One is AOS. So this is a command line interface where you can interact with through Lua, and then the other one is AO Connect, which is a JavaScript library. Today we're mainly going to see the logic part of things, so we're just going to interact with AOS, and then we'll probably touch on AO Connect in the next bootcamp. So I'm just going to switch my screen to sharing my terminal window. Let me see. Yep. Now, if you do not have AOS installed, you just have to run the first command. If you guys, again, reminder, just follow the hackmd doc I've shared for the commands I'm using, so it will be easier to follow along. So if you haven't installed AOS, you can just run this command and it should install it. I have this installed, but they also like keep pushing out a lot of updates regularly, so this will also give you an idea if there's any updates in store. Okay, let's try running that again. Okay, this shouldn't take so much time. I'm just going to create a new tab and see. Oh, can you still see my screen? I think I stopped sharing accidentally. My bad. Um, let me just give me a second. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Again, let's run this and see. Okay, is this my network? No. Guys, is the command working for you also? I'll know if it's like a network error on my end. If you all have successfully run this command, okay, nice. Cool. Okay, it's working for you guys. So it's probably a thing on my end. Awesome. No worries. We'll just try spawning a process then. Cool. So if you guys have installed AOS, you can simply spawn a process by typing AOS. Now here you can see this is the AOS version. Recently it launched an update of 2.0. There you can see it's telling me to update. Cool. Okay, so here it's giving us a nice little like information about all of our process related stuff. So first of all, this is our process ID. So it's an identifier that lets you like, interact with this process. We'll see how in a bit. These processes have a name. So this process, if you just run AOS like I did, just plain AOS, it'll be called default. You can also run, so let me just create a new tab here. Um, you guys can see the other tab. Okay, you guys cannot see the other tab. Okay, let me figure that out. Sorry. Yeah, so if I create a new tab here and I run something like AOS my process, what I'm basically doing is I'm saying create a new container for me, create a new process for me, and name it my process. And it's creating one. Okay, and here you can see the process is now named my process. This has a different ID. You can see the version of AOS it is running, and then there's inbox. Okay, so we're going to quickly look at what inbox is, but before that, let's just see what is capable in this process. You can run basic math, so you can just do something like 5 divided by 5. You get 1. There you go. You can also store variables, so I can say num is equal to 5, and then I can do operations on that as well. I can say like num is equal to num plus 10, and let's just see. So you can also see the value of these variables by just typing in the name, saying like num, and it should print out what the value is. There you go, 15. You can also run some functions in this, like function, let's call the function greet, for example, and then it takes, let's say it takes a name, and then it returns something. So it returns hello to whatever the name of the person is. Um, Now, all functions in Lua, you have to start with the keyword function and you have to end with the keyword end. So that's how Lua knows it's an end. Now you see I wrote an inline function because writing multi-line code is a little difficult. So we're going to see why that is quickly, but let's run this. Now we have a function named greet, I can just see greet here, and it should give me a function. Yep. So now I'm going to call the function with, let's say, Prasan. And hopefully it says hello Prasan. There we go. Sweet. So that was just a quick definition of a function. Now, this is a little difficult to read unless you are like a power user. So there is a way to do multi-line code. You can do dot editor, and then you start typing your code. So you say function, you say greet, you say name, you say enter, and then I'll say return, say hello, and name, and hit, then I hit this thing enter, and then I finish the function with dot done. So I start with dot editor and I do with dot done. It's going to throw me an error because I intentionally made a mistake here. I forgot to add end. Now this was difficult for me to read. Um, so what if I had to edit this? I would have to go to the editor again, and then I would have to start typing this all over again. I would have to do function, greet, again say name, return. Now look, I made a spelling error in name, but I cannot go back to that line. So that's an issue. That's why I'm doing multi-line code is a little tricky in this editor, but that's fine. There is a better way to do this. We can do something called .pad. So what is .pad? It gives you a Vim-like editor where you can just like toggle through lines as well. So let's see. I think you might have to press I to like be able to type when you do .pad, but yeah, let's try typing greet name, enter tab, return, return. I'm gonna say hello, and then dot name. Now you see I can go back to the previous line if there's anything. I can also do end. Now to stop typing, I just have to hit escape. So now I cannot type. I can move through the lines, but I cannot type. And then the way to save this function is similar to Vim. You just do :wq and hit enter. Now I still have this greet function here, which is going to check. And then we're just going to run, let's see, where was it? Greet Prasan again. Yes, hello Prasan once again. But yeah, that was it. So now we saw how functions work. Previously, when I showed the architecture of AO, I said that processes interact through messages. So we're just going to quickly see what that means. There are some reserved keywords in this IDE, like send, for example. So anytime you want to send a message to a process, you just use the keyword send. You need to specify the target. For this message demo, I'm just going to say AO.ID. AO.ID is basically my process's ID. So it's basically sending a message to itself at this point. I'm going to say data is equal to ping. And yes, so okay, I'll just quickly touch on the structure. I'm sending a message, and the message has an object or a table. Like everything in Lua has a table. So it has a table of tags. The first tag is the target. That's how AO or AOS knows whom to send this message to. And then the other tag is data. So the data I'm sending is ping. Let's see what comes back. Okay, see there I got a message saying data ping. Where did I get this message? Did you see my inbox here had something number 2? That means my inbox had 2 messages and now it has 3. Okay, so what is inbox? Inbox is a special table in all AOS processes, or rather all AO processes. They store all of the incoming messages. Now, how do we access this? You can just say inbox and it will give you like a large dump, like basically a giant table of all of your messages here. So right now, like the messages have a lot of tags, so it's a really large message. What if I want to see just one specific message, like the last one? So since it's a table, I can index into it. And the way I can index into the last message received is just say hash inbox. So what this is doing is basically indexing into the length of inbox, which will give me the last message. Um, there we go. We have this last message. It's okay. I cannot find the data in this. There's a lot of tags. How do I do that? So it's a table. I can just say inbox dot hash inbox dot data. So it will specifically give me the data tag of this message, which was ping. That's what it is. Everyone up to speed, guys, so far? Looking good? Just drop like some emojis in chat. Sweet, we have something from Ashish. Nice, awesome. Um, Now, one thing to note here, guys. What if I wanted to see the first message of the inbox? Would I type 0? No, I would type 1 just because that's how Lua works. We don't know why, but like the first indexing starts from 1 basically. Um, there we go. So we just sent a message to ourselves. Now we already have a second process here. You know what? I'm just going to share my entire screen for ease. Actually, guys, can you all see if I toggle through tabs? I don't think you can, right? Okay, weird. Okay, I'm going to share my entire screen. Wait, give me a second. Yep, cool. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Now I have these two processes running. In this one we sent a message to itself. Now I want to send a message to a different process. I want to send it to this process here. So basically, what I'll do, I'll just find the send message here, and instead of typing AO.id here, I'll just paste in this AO process ID. Just to quickly show you all how to fetch a process ID. If you cannot see it here, you just type AO.id. And here you can see it gives you the same idea. Cool. Yeah, there we go. Now this should receive a message saying ping. Awesome. There we go. We just sent a message from one target, from one process to another. Now, what if we were anticipating this message? Like, let's say this process is anticipating the ping message from process one, and it wants to respond pong in return. Is there a way to automate it, or does this process just have to keep like looking, hey, when does ping come? When does ping come? So yes, there is a way. Let me show you guys. There is this. There are handlers. So what are handlers basically? Handlers are is a special feature of AO where basically it consists of three parts. You name a handler. So let's say you wanted to just send a pong message, we'll call it ping pong. Then you do a pattern. So a pattern is basically you define some sort of conditions or some sort of parameters that when matched it will trigger some output function, and then the function basically is what code will run when this pattern is matched. So if we go back here, we'll just say our handler was called ping pong. The pattern that we were looking for was a data tag that had the value ping, and then the return function would be just sending back a message saying pong. But previously we saw, it can be difficult to edit multi-line code. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to open a new IDE called BetterIDEa. So you can go to ide.betteridea.dev. This is it. And it just provides a nice interface to work with your Lua code and AO processes. So I'm going to create a new project here called AOS Bootcamp. And for now, yeah, I'm just going to leave everything default and just create a process to see this. Cool. Now, handlers. Okay, every process has some handlers by default. Uh, you can see them by just running handlers.list. Okay, these are like predefined when you're just creating the AO process. If you want to create a new handler, you basically use the handler keyword. So you do handlers.add, and then here you define everything. So here, let's say I want to call this ping pong. I'm looking for, let's say I'm looking for an action tag that says ping. Let's see. So I'll just, actually, there's an update. Okay, wait, I'll just run through this. And then I'm going to define a function. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm going to define a function. I'm going to take in a message parameter. So basically, like I'm responding to an incoming message, right? So I'm going to pass that message table or like message details to this function. And I'm going to send some elements. Or I'm going to use some elements from there. So I'm going to send a message. The target is going to be message.from. So from is a reserved keyword like in messages. Let's quickly see if we can find it here. Yeah, you can see from, like who has sent this message is this process here. I'm just going to confirm it was our process. Okay, wait. Oh, wait. Okay. We're just going to use message.from, and then pass in the data is equal to pong. And let's see, I think this should work. Cool. So I'm gonna just run this. Okay, this is, there are two ways you can interact with BetterIDEa, by the way, guys. There's one version which is the code cells like this, and then there is the one where you can just work in a giant file. I just find these code cells are a little more easier to manage. So yeah, let's just see if our handler has gotten added. Our handler is called ping pong. Let me see. Cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this process ID here, and I'm going to send it a message saying ping with the action item ping. So let's see. Send. Okay. See, we sent it a ping and we got a pong in return. And we can also check the inbox of this here. Refresh. Oh, okay. So yes, a note there, nice reminder. Guys, we used a handler, right? So I sent a ping message from this process to this one, and we used a handler on that message, right? So that handled message automatically gets deleted from your inbox. So that's why we're not seeing it here. So, okay, I'm just going to quickly head back to gather town and see if everyone's up to speed. Um, Guys, everyone up to speed so far? Everything looking good? Just drop like some emojis or like a thumbs up. Yes, perfect. Awesome. Cool. Yes. So now, okay. Before we head over to like the mini chat room part, There's a few interesting handlers that you can work with. So let's say we want to define a special handler here. Let's just call this, okay. Uh, I'm just going to remove handler ping pong from the list, and I'm just going to use it again. Yeah, cool. That was a handy trick. You can remove handlers like this. But yes, the reason I removed this is because there are some special cases for handlers. Like instead of add, if I want a handler to just run once, I can define it like this. So you'll see the handler pop up here. Let's see. The handlers there here, and then the max runs has been defined as 1. So you can either do handlers dot once, or if you want to run it multiple times but not forever, there's like a second variable that you can run that just says 3 or 5 or whatever. That's the number of times this handler will keep looking at this pattern. So it will match with this pattern for up to 5 times, and then after that the handler will delete itself. But let's see. Okay, so now we can see this handler in this list. We're going to send it another ping. We got a pong in return, and this handler should be deleted. um, There we go. See, that's a pretty nifty thing. So yeah, this was just an overview, and now we're going to start implementing all these handlers and variables and things that we've seen. So we're going to build a basic chat room. So for that, what does a chat room need? It needs some members. So we're just going to create a variable called members, and it's going to be a table. Cool. We have members. Again, you can access the value of variables by just typing in the name. There you see it's an empty table. Now for just walking you all through the text instead of typing it, I'm just going to copy paste the code from here, just making things simpler. Cool. Now the first thing that you want to add, the first handler that you want to add is a register handler. We have an empty table for members, but members should be able to join, right? So this is what the handler is. This is the name of the handler. This is the action that it is looking for. So when a user wants to join this, they're going to have to send a message to this process with the handler, with the action register. And then what that is going to do is it's basically going to say that whoever this message has come from, we're going to add them to the members table, which is going to print a registered message, and then it's also going to send a reply. So okay, reply is a method on top of this message. What it does is it basically sends some information back to whoever the message came from. So let's add this handler, and then we're going to go back, and then we're going to just register to this chat room. Let's say action register. So let's see. Okay, nice. We got a registered. This message also, this process also got an update. You can see these nice incoming pop-ups as well on BetterIDEa. So it's pretty cool. Now we're just going to see if the members table has been updated. And there we go. We have our first member. Let's add one more member to this chat because you don't need a chat to talk to yourself. Now, one thing that I find a little tedious is just having to keep copying, pasting addresses or process IDs. So what I like to do is just store them in variables for ease. So I'm just going to on the second process just say chatroom is equal to, just store this ID here. I can check if it's stored correctly like this. Sweet. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to send another register message from the second process that says target is equal to chatroom. So it's basically going to pick up the value of the variable action is equal to register. And we should be registered. Let's just check. We have two members. Awesome. We have two members. Now, what are these two members going to do? They need to start messaging each other, right? So we're going to add another handler for messaging, which is the broadcast handler. Why is it called broadcast? Because it's going to send a broadcast to the entire group. What this is doing is basically it's going to cycle through the participants, the process IDs of the participants, and then it's going to send them whatever message you want to send them. So let's just add this. Cool. Um, Now you see here in AO.send, we have this thing called message.data. So let's see what that means. So far we've just sent like two tags. We've sent the target and then we've sent the action. So action this time is going to be broadcast, of course. We want to send a message to the group, but there's going to be a third tag called data. This is what we want to say to the room. So I'm just going to say, hello. Actually, let me say dum dum, because why not? And let's see what that returns. There. See, this was part of the chat room, and they got a message called dum dum, and we were also a part of the chat room, so we also got the message dum dum. And there we have it. Chat room, pretty simple, right? But guys, this is chat rooms, or like there is a bunch of code that might be useful to a lot of applications, like chat rooms specifically. They can go in any social applications. You have, for example, chats on Twitter, you have chats on Instagram, Snapchat, whatever social media application you take. So does it make sense to like keep writing this code again and again, or should it be templatized? I think it's the latter. So there is a provision for this. It's called blueprints. Now, blueprints are just template codes that you can load directly into your process with a simple command. So, instead of me having to run all of these things, I had a broadcast handler, I had a register handler, I had to do members. I'm just going to remove these handlers quickly. Handlers dot remove. Okay, wait, let's just. Okay, you can see these handlers. I'm going to remove them first. So handlers dot remove, register, handlers dot remove broadcast. Are the handlers gone? Yes. So yes, there's a blueprint. So how do you load blueprints into your code? You simply type dot load. Okay, wait. Let me just zoom into this. Yes, dot load slash blueprint, and then you're just going to type the name of the blueprint. So this one is called chatroom. Loading chatroom. There we go. Now if I look at the handlers again, here we have a bunch of handlers. We have broadcast, we have register, we have unregister, and let's just see what members is. Okay, it preserved our members because we already created this members table. But if we had not, it would just create like a fresh table for ourselves. You can also just look at all of the available blueprints by heading over to it's okay, I'll just type it here. It's cookbook underscore AO dot gateway dot IO. So this is the docs. It's pretty comprehensive. You can like check these out later as well if you want to play around. But there's a bunch of blueprints here. So there's blueprints for a chat room. There's this fun token called cred that used to let you like participate in games and things. So there's that. There's a blueprint for staking. There's for tokens, voting, whatever. So yes, everybody up to speed so far. Any quick questions that you would like me to address? How are we doing? Drop some emojis in chat, guys. Okay, yes. Ankush with a nifty tip there. If anyone is unable to connect with the IDE, just install RConnect. It's a browser-based wallet, so you can easily connect with web applications on Arweave and AO. Share the MD file, please. Yes, sharing this link again. Here you go. Cool. Um, Let me just expand this into a separate tab. Yeah. Cool. Guys, so quickly, I'm just going to run you through some things. Um, just like we saw reply earlier, we also have some other capabilities on messages. Like you can forward these messages to another process. So let's say, I had a handler here. Let's delete this. Okay, let's call our ping pong handler again, our friendly ping pong handler. Um, let's say ping pong, and it's going to look for a action that says ping. Okay, and the function I'm going to do here is I'm going to do message dot forward. Like think of WhatsApp forwards, for example. I have a friend who I want to forward messages that come to me. So I'm just going to pick this friend's process ID. Here you go. And I want to say that any message with the action ping that comes to me, I want to forward to them. And then I just want, okay, I just want a print that tells me messages forwarded. Okay, so I'm going to add this handler. Just quickly going to check the handlers list. We have ping pong. And I'm going to send the action ping from this other process. Let's see. Um, was this forwarded? Let's check the inbox. It did not print, maybe because I had highlighted things. Okay. Um, yeah, I don't think it got forwarded. Something here is, what did I send you? Send target chatroom action paying. Let's try again. If it does not work, I'll just explain what's supposed to happen or why it happens. Um, oh, is it because of the capital F? My bad. Let's try. Oh, nice. There we got a print saying forwarded, and this guy should have a message ping. Nice. Yeah, there we go. Where is this thing useful? Let's see. So we did a hacker hangout session with Orbit, the Oracle network on AO some time ago, and one of the use cases in their structure is they first need to receive some payments for fetching data. So what they expect the users to do is basically, okay, I'll show you all on Excalibur so it's easier. Let's say this is the user. Let's say this is one process here, and let's say this is the other process here. Um, the user wants some data, but they first need to pay for requesting that data. So they're paying this to some payment process. Okay, let's call this use. Oops, let's just call this U. Let's call this a points process, so we'll call it for P, and let's call this a data process for D. So basically the user has to pay this points process some token, so it basically sends a message with a bunch of tags that includes, the tokens or the points, along with whatever data requests it wants to do. This points process accepts the points, and then it filters out some tags, and then it forwards the rest of the tags to this data feed process. And then the data feed process replies to this user with whatever data it requested. So that's one use case of forwarding. Now these special methods like dot forward, which we saw, and dot reply, they are part of the AOS 2.0 updates. Um, Along with that, we have dot receive as well. So dot receive is something like an async await thing that you do. So where's the ID? Yeah. So instead of message, or actually, what I could do, I could just say something like send target is equal to AO dot ID, and then whatever action is equal to something ping, let's say. And on this I could do receive. So what basically will happen here is this will send the message, and typically, like earlier we saw that AO processes are built to work or continue their operations without like waiting for other processes. This reduces like any bottlenecks, but there might be some information that you need to receive before the operation continues. So that's where you use this dot receive method. um, and then lastly, let's see, what was that? There's dry run. So dry run is basically you know uh, where you don't want to perform any write operations, but you want to read any data. That's where dry run is very useful. So it's not like taking up any operational capacity of the process. Yeah. So okay, we're going to head to the other part of this, but again, heading to gather town. Oops, I'm going to stop sharing quickly. Getting a vibe check. How's the session so far, guys? Everyone up to speed? Drop some thumbs up emojis or something. Yes. Awesome. Cool. Looks like everyone is up to speed. So, all right, we're going to move to the building a database. We're going to we'll see later on why like this database is going to be useful. It'll probably like um, it's going to be useful for us in bootcamp number 2. But for now, let's just see why we're creating a database. It's basically anytime we want to handle any large amount of structured data, it's like a tedious process creating tables on your own. And SQLite already does a good job for it. So basically, the AO team just like injected SQLite into AO processes. Um, how you can select that, let's say, I'm going to name my process Bootcamp SQLite demo. It's going to create a new process. Oh, by the way, this is the more options part of BetterIDEa. So I can select the notebook config, which I've been using so far, or I can use the regular config, which is just like a giant file. I prefer notebooks. And then the AO process module. So we were using AOS 2.0 by default. There are some older versions. And then there's SQLite. Um, so what was that sound? Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. My bad, guys. Um, um, yep. Sorry, my bad. Yes, so I'm going to create a new project here. Um, I'm going to open more options. I'm going to name this Bootcamp SQLite demo. And then yeah, this was like the notebook, or I can select the regular version, which is the giant file. Again, like I'm going to select notebook. And then finally the AO process module. So what are modules? Modules are just what kind of code the process or the container can interpret. So there's one AOS 2.0 by default. There's some special ones for SQLite. So I'm going to pick the SQLite one for now. And I'm going to create this one. Awesome. I'm just going to hit refresh to make sure. Oops. Okay. I'm going to hit refresh to make sure that I'm in the latest terminal because I created a new project. And okay, so yes, what do we need to interact with the SQLite thing? Yes, we set up the SQLite module, but there is also some dependencies you need that just make it easier to use SQLite code in context of AO. So there's a very handy tool that BetterIDEa has created, which is called AO Package Manager. So it lets you create packages on AO. We did a demo of this day before, and we did like a live package creation also. I'll show that towards the end of the session. But yes, so again, APM is also a blueprint, so you can just install it by saying load blueprint APM. It should, okay, what is that? Is it installed? Okay, nice. APM is installed. Cool. We loaded the APM blueprint. I'm just going to hit APM update to check any updates, if any. Update, nice. There was an update. Sweet. Now, if you want to install anything, you can just do APM install, and then you need to check the package name. So APM actually has this nice registry here. Actually, let me just do APM. You can go to apm.betteridea.dev to check it out. And the package we're interested in using is the DbAdmin package. So this was a package created by Tom, which is like it's a wrapper around your Lua SQLite package, and it just like works well in the context of AO. So I want to install this. I'm just going to copy this name here, and APM will help me install it. So it says downloaded. I can also check if it's installed by doing APM installed. You can see it's here. Cool. So sorry, now I want to set up a database instance. So again, like I'm just going to copy the code I have here, and I'm going to walk you all through what all of that means. Here we are requiring the Lua SQLite package because again, this is built on top of Lua SQLite. And even though you have packages installed, you need to require them in your project. It's similar to what you do in JavaScript. You install your packages and then you import or require them in your files. Basically that. And then here I'm opening the database and I'm creating an instance from it. I'm just going to call this instance admin. You can call it whatever you like. Just one thing to remember, guys, don't define this as local. Okay, local. This is something I missed mentioning earlier. But like all of our variables so far, we've just like, decided like the variable name and assigned it some value. If we want to like just use a variable in a particular context, we can define it as local. Just how like local functions work, local variables work. Similar to that is the same thing. But when you're working with this notebook, just make sure that any variables that you want to use in other cells, do not define them as local because it will throw an error. But cool. So we're going to just create an just called admin. We'll just see if it's created. And there we go. We have a DB named admin. Now the next step is creating a table within this database. So we're going to create a table named leaderboard. I'm going to while I'm just like writing and explaining this code, I want you guys to just guess why we're doing a leaderboard right now. It's some Easter egg or alpha for the next bootcamp. Just take whatever guesses you like. But yes, I'll walk you all through the code in the meantime. So yes, we're going to say admin exec. This is similar to what you would run in SQL. We're going to create table name leaderboard, and we're going to have four values inside this table. So one is going to be the ID. Right now, I'm just going to keep it like a basic auto increment ID. Later on, what we'll do is we'll fetch in the users' IDs later on, as in Bootcamp 2. I mentioned that everything that we're doing here is going to connect together in Bootcamp 2. So later on, we'll just like fetch in the user IDs. Name is going to be, of course, the username. Score again. You guys put in chat, what you think we are going to present in Bootcamp 2, and then profile image. Cool. Sweet. Now we should have a table named leaderboard inside of admin. I can check that by typing admin colon tables. And there we go, leaderboard. So this SQLite sequence is just a default table that's created because I'm using auto increment here. Yeah. But yes, leaderboard. Now we're just going to see, we're going to add some quick values to the leaderboard. I'm just going to copy this code from here. We're just going to add Alice and Bob. Now, you guys, like just a quick tip I would say is like the reason why I like working with this notebook is just I can structure my code like, first was the instantiation, then was like the leader or like the table setup, and then the third was like the addition of values. So it's like easier to debug as well if we run into any issues, as well as like, if I want to just change like certain parts of it, I don't have to like just go through the entire file to figure out what I want to do. But yes, again, standard like SQL syntax, I'm adding the name, some random score, and some profile image into the leaderboard table. Just going to run this. And then we're going to see the value. So for that, you can just do admin exec, and let's see. It should be select all from leaderboard. I think that is correct. Yep, there we go. So nice. Our leaderboard table has these values added inside of it, and we can also update the record. So again, similarly, I can just run this update command where I'm updating Alice's score from 10 to 20, and hopefully here we should see it updated as well. Oh, actually, there was one more code snippet. Yes, let's use this to just see Alice's code. Yep, there we go. See, it worked. So, yes, now the last fun bit. So I'm going to just quickly check in to gather down. Hopefully, okay, actually, you know what? We'll finish this part, and then I'll head back to Gather Town and see. We're going to install one more package here. It's the package that we deployed the other day in the Hacker Hangouts. It was created by Ankush Live, and the package is basically something that lets you use bazaar profile information inside of your processes. So I'm adding this package, and then I'm just going to write the code for it. I'm going to call it just bazaar p, require the package. I'm going to get the result back. So I'm going to, okay, wait. Let's just run this and then return bazaar p and see what that is. Okay, you see, it's actually a table that has one function, get profile. So I want to call this function get profile. I'm going to store the value of it in a res variable. So I'm going to say bazaar p dot get profile. And what I'm going to do is, okay, so the way this function works is I just need to pass it a wallet address. It will go check bazaar for, what the process ID associated with the wallet address is. And then it will check in all of the profile details for that process ID. So I just need to pass it the address, and I'm just going to use this address that I'm connected to BetterIDEa with, and I'm going to print the result and see what it is. Hey, what happened? Oh, my bad. Yes. So one thing, guys, I forgot to mention this, is that there has been an update to AOS. So I initialized this project with SQLite, right? Okay, I'm just going to create a new project, and I'm going to say AOS Bazaar or Bootcamp Bazaar. Pre-project. Now, okay, guys, one thing here is that AOS 2.0, this process, it does not have the context for SQLite, and likewise, SQLite does not have context for AOS 2.0. So there has been a custom module created that lets you utilize both contexts in one. I will share the link to that later on. But right now, I'm just going to create a new project that uses AOS 2.0 to show you all the bazaar profiles thing. So again, I just have to refresh this. Yeah, I think it just was it. Cool. Again, I'm going to load APM into this. APM. Okay, now I'm going to install the package again in this new project process. And I'm just going to write all of my code here. Okay. Now, owner is a reserved keyword. So owner is whoever is the owner of this process. This keyword is reserved for them. Since I'm connected with this web-based browser, it's going to be that wallet address. If you guys were working on your local terminals, the owner is going to be a custom wallet that AOS creates at the time of installation. So, you can access that in your root folder. I think it's in the name .aos.json. So yes, it's basically an Arweave key file. So if you guys want to replace that with your own key file, you can go and do that as well. But BetterIDea can directly pull your wallet address here, so it's pretty neat. Just going to print this and see. Hopefully, it gets back something. There we go. Sweet. So I got my bazaar profile back, and this, guys, was a requested feature from quite a few people to Ankush. We demoed it live, so it was a pretty fun session. You guys can watch it later on. But yes, that is what I had for the 101 workshop. As a quick summary, we went over like basics of AO, understanding what it is. We saw how the AO CLI works. We saw handlers, then we saw a easy tool to work with like your AO code. We saw the Chatroom utility, we saw blueprints, we created a basic database using SQLite on AO, and then we looked at APM packages. So yes, I'm going to head back into GatherTown and see chat. But like in the next bootcamp, we're just going to use all of these things that we're seeing and combine them into one application. So yes, guys, questions. I still don't see you guys commenting about what we might be building in the next boot camp. Yeah, but if you guys want to comment that, yes, this session is recorded. It will be shared later on. Um, Okay, Calcifer, I think we can like take your messages in like a common chat because I think it needs a little more discussion. But if you guys have like any just quick questions that I can answer right here on stage, happy to. Otherwise, happy to break out and head over to the co-working space next door so we can have like a more easier free-flowing chat. Uh, maybe Brooklyn. Mm, okay, I think Ashutosh, we might maybe like start moving to the co-working space unless you have like something to touch on. But hopefully, guys, you enjoyed this session. I try to make it as simple as possible while giving as much context about building on AO. Yep.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks a lot, Rohit. It was really a alpha packed, session and a great kickoff. Like, can we have like a 100 emoji for Rohit here? Like, just how he was able to like pack everything in just 1 hour and just make it so comprehensive. Yeah, pretty cool. So yes, that concludes session one, but doesn't mean that concludes the learning. What we'll do now, two things. For now, immediately for your questions, your top of the mind things right now, we'll move to the co-work space on the right. So if you see there's like a nice, virtual co-working space that we've created, we'll just go ahead and have some questions, chat, brainstorm stuff. And post that, don't forget if to be in the Discord. If somebody can, just drop the Discord link. This is where all the discussion, the fun, the community building, everything happens. So yeah, make sure you're in Discord. So just actively taking part in the discussion. And Bootcamp 2 is soon. When is it? Let us drop some insights here. I think it's not announced, but Bootcamp 2 is on 29th, which is the coming Tuesday. So it's gonna be pretty cool. We're gonna do like go more like advanced on what's